One item that was continued until such time as I heard from the applicant, and unfortunately I had a call from Mr. Goodwin yesterday, which didn't really give us time to add this to the agenda, but the bankruptcy court wants to know what's going on and needs an answer. So he is here and counsel is here, and I think they should be heard on the Sandrine situation.
I think they can be heard, but I don't feel like we could vote on anything as it wasn't advertised.
No, it may not be an issue of a vote,
There was
but
no notice.
It's something for them to bring back to the bankruptcy court.
Will you say something for them to bring back to the
Well, I don't know exactly.
Feel free to come forward. And again, I'll let you state your name for the record first.
Thank you, Madam Chair. James McGrail, counsel for Classic
James, spell your
James, MC, capital Grail.
Thank you.
And with you?
Bill Goodwin, Goodwin, Chief Operating Officer, Classic Restaurants.
Classic Restaurants. Thanks.
So before you start, counsel, let me say I didn't know that you were going to be here this evening. We have not posted notice that you would be here this evening. I don't believe we are able to take a vote. If you want to provide information to the board, that is one thing, but we have not provided notice. People are not given an opportunity to be heard on it.
Sure, I completely understood, Madam Chair. And the last time we were here, we discussed this matter. This was a situation, just to recap, whereby Classic Restaurants sought to purchase Sandrine's assets through a bankruptcy sale. They thought when they were going through that process that they were purchasing a full value license that they were going to seek to transfer through this commission. After they filed their transfer application, they were notified by the executive director that the license, in fact, was a no value license that couldn't be transferred. Our hearing date was April 14th. We've gone before the bankruptcy judge. He had basically given us every indication that if the board was, or the commission wasn't willing to transfer this license to the Classic Restaurants, then he would just end the process and start it all over again. We came before you, we spoke to this particular issue. The board was the commission was very clear that you weren't going to take a no value license and make it a full value license, and it wasn't in, your purview to do so, and you've never done it before. So we were prepared to go back to the bankruptcy judge that next day and explain to him just that. We all appeared in court prior to us testifying, submitting that testimony before the judge. The two parties came and had a meeting of the minds out in the lobby to say, hey, look, Classic Restaurants is open to acquiring a no value license. Sandrine's is interested in holding on to the value of the beer and wine license such that they could transfer that in whatever means this commission deems appropriate. Classic Restaurants could move on with a no value license at Sandrine's, and over the course of time, if it so chose, seek a value license through the normal process here within the city of Cambridge. Based upon that understanding that between the two parties, parties went before the judge and explained to him that there may be a solution to the problem. The judge said, fair enough. He continued the matter until May 6th, which is tomorrow, and asked that we try to work this out. There's been a lot of back and forth between the parties since that discussions, which is one of the reasons why I think Bill did have an initial conversation with Ms. Lynn, and then they had to get another one yesterday. So there has been some communication. We recognize that that you can't vote. See, we're not asking for that, I guess. What we're asking for is, if you can, give it some kind of indication as if this board would be open to making a decision on transferring a no value license to Sandrine's and keeping a no value license, or if the process would have to start a new one, and two, if the commission would be open to, as part of that process, allowing Sandrine's to keep their beer and wine license that they have.
I guess from my standpoint, before anyone answers, and you can choose to say what you want, I'm still under the opinion that we can't comment on this because we didn't give notice. And I know that you're looking for some type of indication, and I understand in some regards time is of the essence, and I respect that, but I also have to respect the fact that we have to give notice, and we haven't provided it. So I don't feel like I'm at liberty to comment, and I guess my fellow commissioners can make their own decisions. I do believe, though, that we should not be making any comment on it, as notice was not provided.
We have to give 48 hours notice, but the bigger problem is I also had a conversation yesterday with the counsel. I can't remember if he's Sandrine's counsel or the bankruptcy attorney, and what I heard was a little bit different, so I really think you need all parties in the room.
He is here.
Oh, okay.
So,
What I understood was a little bit different,
Okay.
but I don't think that you can.
Well, first of all, let me start by apologizing on the miscommunication. When we were last here, we were under the impression, obviously misimpression, that we were able to get on the agenda with 1 day's notice. It was clear that up for me. Very sorry for this miscommunication. The agreements amongst the attorneys actually didn't even fully take place till about 1 o'clock this afternoon. Friday at 4:30, 3 or 4 o'clock, the agreement was in place, and then the written stuff came out today. So again, apologies. What's transpired here is we have got the debtor's attorney, Alex Matera, and his associate Eric Speed here, to recognize that in the city of Cambridge, in the past hearing when Sandrine's applied for a non-value license, they turned in their beer and wine license. They have agreed that they would do that. They would like to request that if the city would like to give that back to them so they could sell it and satisfy debt, that's what they're interested in doing. I told them that I would not even try to get on the agenda with our attorney unless they agreed to that, because that Cambridge has already established that as part of, in the prior time that they got a non-value license in Greens. So that's why we're before you tonight. We were hopeful that we would have a decision, and I perfectly understand you have to give public notice, and we do not want to violate that. We only are hoping to get some sense to give the bankruptcy judge tomorrow, because now it looks like we'll have to go back in and ask for another continuance. And this is not a ruling. Is there an opportunity to get a non-value license provided under all the prior ways that people have gotten non-value licenses, and specifically Sandrine's?
I'm still of the opinion that I can't give you any indication.
Okay.
We can't hear it.
Okay.
I think that's a conversation I can have with them later.
Right, it's something that the board cannot entertain. Now,
Okay.
if you want to be placed on the agenda for the next coming hearing, which I believe is May 19th, and Ms. Lynn can give you the date, then we can do that.
The 19th is correct.
But until then, I don't believe that this board can offer any indication. We can't give you any comment. Again, it hasn't been posted properly.
May I ask that, do I need, I'm not going to, in a graduation, can my attorney represent me? Do I need to be here?
That's your pleasure.
That's up to you.
I'll let you work out the details.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
No other matters before us. I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.